Good morning and welcome back to the Eagle Squawk podcast. My name is Wyatt Reed and I'm here with my fellow classmates,
Amelia Williams,
Markaylin Watson,
and David Bartleson.
And first I would like to say the Eagle Squawk would not be possible without the generous donation at Frontier Heating and Cooling here in Sidney, Montana. We would like to express our sincere thanks to Kendra Herbal, Wayne Reed, and Mike Donahue at Frontier. We would also like to express our sincere thanks to the Sidney Herald for letting us use the Around Town section of the newspaper. And finally, I hope you enjoy listening to us as we discuss topics of importance to ourselves and the community, and that all of these discussions and deliberations are our own and do not reflect the opinions nor policies of the Sidney Public Schools District or the Sidney High School Administration. And I would like to remind our viewers that this will be our last podcast due to the semester ending and classes changing, and we hope a teacher will continue our podcast. And with that, I believe we will go into the Around Town section, and we'll start with David.
On Thursday, the Sidney Moose Lodge will serve cheeseburger soup from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. And Friday, January 14th, Shea Avenue will be doing a pop-up shop at Bella Rebel in Sidney, Montana from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Bring your friends, sister, mom, or someone who you know loves clothing. Snacks and beverages will be available. And on Sunday, January 16th, the Sidney Moose Lodge will serve breakfast from 8:30 to 11:30 a.m. The Sidney Moose Lodge will have bingo starting at 1 p.m.
Okay, Monday, January 17th, the Sidney Area Chamber of Commerce and Agriculture will be having a banquet at the Richland County Event Center at 6 o'clock. Excelling businesses and individuals will be honored at this banquet.
On Tuesday, January 18th, a Red Cross blood drive will be held from noon to 6 p.m. at St. Matthew's Parish Center, located at 310 7th Street Southeast in Sidney. Advance appointments are strongly recommended. To make an appointment, call the American Red Cross at 406-868-0911. Again, that number is 406-868-0911. Or 1-800-733-2767. Again, that number is 1-800-733-2767. Or visit redcrossblood.org. Women of the Moose will have supper at 5 p.m., followed by Women of the Moose meeting at 6 p.m.
Wednesday, January 19th, the Sidney Moose Lodge will serve tomato soup from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Another thing is, February 3rd, Shakespeare Winter Tour is coming to Sidney.
And with that wraps up our Around Town section. So we will go into our first topic, which we chose was the prom venue for this year. For prom venue, I believe if it'll be like last year, the prom will be held in the high school gym, which I'd rather it be in the gym than the multi-purpose room like they've had it years before.
Yeah.
Just because it's way too many
space.
people to be crowded in the multi-purpose room, or the wrestling room.
You better prepare for that backhand from Melbs as soon as you say that.
I know Melbs is gonna
He'll
hit
get
me. What do you guys think?
Mark?
I think it should be in the gym.
I think it would be weird if it didn't. It wasn't in the gym because when you grow up, like with our prom and going and watching Grand March, you're if it's anywhere else, it'd feel weird.
It would be weird, yeah. David, what do you think?
Hold on, Mark has something to say. After David. Mark has something to say.
All right. Yeah, it should be in the gym, and hopefully they have good music too.
This is gonna be your first prom, right?
If I even
If
go.
you go.
How much does it usually cost?
What is it for a couple?
Isn't it 10? It's not that much, right? Or is it?
Well, the tickets are not that much, but I do know if you rent a tux from Party Central, I know that is quite the hefty bill. I think last year my tux was $350.
Don't they do like
I
prom
just
packages too? Like,
They do prom packages.
but that doesn't
yeah.
really like matter with the price because it's
No.
anyways gonna cost like at least a
Yeah.
grand or some,
Then you gotta buy your data corsage.
which you should do
for men, which I believe you always should do. You gotta get a cool whip, gotta get
Oh
some
my
fuel
God.
in the car. Then you gotta take them out for dinner. You know it's all just money, but it's really fun. So, David, if you ever get a chance, I highly suggest you go. It's really fun.
Even if
Well,
even
I
if,
don't
like,
have that kind of money by the sounds of it.
Go with a friend if you have no one to go with. I will tell you that.
Can you go by yourself still? Is that like a thing?
I think you can, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
There were people that went by
Good.
themselves
That's
last
good.
year. That's
At
awesome.
my old school, 9th grade, in Texas, I'm pretty sure, I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty 98% sure that they had their prom at a club.
What?
Like the school rented out the club for the prom. Like,
I know, like
it
in
was like somewhere else, like in Terrell, which was like 30 to an hour minutes away.
I know like with in Billings they rent out the Metra, the bottom of that, so they can have that area.
That's a great idea. That's a lot of room down
I
there.
think they do, but I could be wrong. But pretty sure they do allow that.
What are you guys' thoughts on after prom?
Well, most of the time, I usually just show up at like some unofficial party, held by peers.
David, you gotta talk louder.
Oh my goodness.
Last year for the after prom, the parents rented out the event center and we had it in there, and they had bouncy houses, we had a cornhole tournament, then you had drawings for stuff you could win.
Then we had bingo.
That was fun. We
I
had
came so
bingo.
close to winning.
Bingo was
One
fun.
more.
And the parents all put that on, which I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
I really hope they do that again.
I
I think,
thought
I
I
was-
think they are doing that again. Yeah.
I was talking to Maria
We
Peters
talked to Mrs.
yesterday.
Peters about it. Yeah.
And she said she doesn't know if they're going to be able to rent out the event center just because of how booked it is.
It's like booked up for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Full.
Really?
Full.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that place is a hot commodity.
Because it's the only place.
It
we
is.
have nowhere else.
Yeah.
Unless we want to take a cruiser and go to the trampoline park in Wilson, which I think is absolutely genius.
That's a great
The
idea.
Class C schools do it. Why can't we?
Exactly. And they stay open for
Yeah,
the schools
yeah.
too.
I
till
think they went to the trampoline park. They went to the rec center.
my freshman year, I went to prom in Fairview, and for after prom, we took the cruiser and we went to the Williston Trampoline Park, and we left Williston at probably 3 in the morning, and I got back in my bed at 4, and my dad marched his happy butt downstairs at 6:30 a.m. bright and early because the cows were out.
It was
we
time
had
to go to work.
We had to go get cows back in, and I was like, and I did not want to get up. I had just fallen asleep. That sucked, but it was still a lot of fun doing that.
I have a question for you guys. Do you think we should hire a professional DJ?
Yes.
I think so too.
I think we
Yeah.
should. You know how they have DJs like at weddings and stuff? How
Yeah.
they're professional? We should do that. It's the one big dance that mostly everybody goes to that are juniors and
That's
seniors, and
accurate.
I think it's a great idea to do that instead
What
of
about like
using our own stuff and getting. I mean, it'd be cool if we could get one of the kids from the school to go do it.
Yeah.
Somebody who's aiding in the tech department, maybe that'd be a good idea for them.
Dow.
Yeah, our cameraman back there, Steven.
Dow.
I'm sure the school has enough money to hire a DJ.
Oh yeah, I would not be surprised
I
with the
think,
money the school board was throwing
I
out.
wonder if we could, as the senior class, since it's, I think we pay for prom. We pay for it, and then the
Senior,
juniors
yep.
take it down.
The senior class pays for
So,
it. and-
yeah.
Yep.
So we
How did
could
that go
have
out?
like maybe a fundraiser to
Well, I
raise
heard-
money for a DJ, which I think that'd be really fun.
I
Smart.
this might be a rumor, but I did hear that we are going to use Mrs. Pennington's old wedding
I
decorations
heard that same thing.
for our prom this year.
Which I think
Do
is
that, which-
that's so smart.
It is because it repurposes them, and then the decorations for us. I do know the decorations that we have for prom do go to the spring fling for the middle school.
Yep.
Nice.
So they use our old prom
I think
decorations.
like one year we had like under the sea themed for
Yeah.
spring fling.
We had like a night in Vegas too, or
Yeah,
something
that
like
was
that.
fun.
That was a good decoration.
That one was
yeah.
cool. I think that was 2017.
Yeah.
That was 2017. Yeah. I know, like with prom pictures, I had a friend in Billings whose family went out onto the tarmac at the airport
That's cool.
and took pictures in front of the like a airplane,
That's pretty sick.
and like all of their friends in front of this airplane like it was his own private jet. And I'm like, I wish I had that amount of money.
Right?
Like, why?
Don't we all?
We did that last year with my dad's
Like,
plane.
I would have loved to gone on the airport and been like, yeah, I'm posing in front of my own private jet. How do you feel? I'm bougie.
Just imagine a jet behind me.
We took I took prom pictures on my snowmobile last year. That was sick.
Of course you did.
That was
Ryan's
sick.
like, I'm pretending I'm jumping.
If it was winter, I would have rode that thing to prom. No ifs, ands, or
Well,
buts
it's
about
like
it. I
that
would have
would-
parked that thing on the front lawn of the
I
school.
remember like coming to Grand March as I was little to watch my cousins and seeing like walking up the sidewalk and seeing like semis or the weirdest amount of vehicles
I know,
that you would
right?
see, and you're like,
Why would you
why?
take that to prom?
Like, why would you want to be like, I'm gonna take a semi to prom? That's just so normal for us.
Can I
It's
do
so
point out that
abnormal
it's
at the
so
same time.
hilarious though?
Oh,
This
yeah.
year, I'm planning on taking a deuce and a half.
You should take
That would
the
be
Frontier van.
Bring a Frontier van. Wait, wait. Okay, hear me out. Those vans are really fun to drive. They don't have four-wheel drive and they're only front-wheel drive.
Drift.
Whenever my dad brings a service van home, I'm like, Dad, can I take the service van? It's just they're fun to drive.
As Wyatt drifts around the corner and it
Right.
just rolls.
No, the other day I was with my dad and he's got a big old lot in the back of his shop and it was ice back there, and so he put it in reverse and cranked the wheel in the front and it just went shoo. It was really fun.
I have one more question. One more question.
All right.
Do you know if like there's theme colors or anything like that?
There will be.
Because like someone told me last year it was like gold and black.
We went
Wasn't
and
it Old Hollywood last year?
I think so.
Was it?
Last year we came, or actually yesterday we went and talked to Mrs. Peters, and a lot of the stuff for this year's prom is just very undecided at the moment.
It's really up in the air.
It's just not set in stone because we still got a ways till prom
Yeah.
We've got,
arrives. Yeah,
we've
but
got what? It's in
4
April
months.
April.
and it's January, and
Yeah.
so we've got time. But I know there's like Cuckoos and Bismarck that is already like taking appointments for dresses and tuxes, and I'm
That's-
like, I mean, yeah, you got to make your money somehow.
Get it done, yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to add to that? David? Mark?
No.
Amelia?
No.
All right, with that, I believe we will go into our next topic, which is the bowling alley and how it reopened. Amelia, do you want to start us off with that?
I'm just really wondering, like, does anybody know if they're bringing back Rockin' Bowl?
Okay, you
That's
got
like
me
my
there.
huge thing.
Rockin'
Is
Bowl
because
was fun.
Rockin' Bowl in middle school was such like a staple of like, this is my Friday night. I'm going out with my friends. We're going to Rockin' Bowl. I'll be home at like 10, Mom.
What's rock and roll?
Okay, basically, you go to the bowling alley, they turn all the lights down, and they could put some cool LED lights on, and they blast
and
rock music
you
in your
wear
bowl.
like
Oh
wear
my
like
God.
neon colors, so you're like glowing in the dark.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Euphoria, but really just like toned down, like no drugs or anything.
Okay,
It's
I
a-
thought you were talking about
It's a lot of fun. I will say that.
It was really fun. I loved Rockin' Bowl. I think they should have like themed bowling nights, like weekly.
Yeah, that'd be a smart idea.
Cause I know,
I went to get my little brother there last weekend, and it's very bare.
do they still have
from what it
arcade
was.
games?
No, I think they got rid of them, but it's just very bare in there. You know how you could like step down to the bowling alley? It's all one level now. And there's just a bar there to get shoes. You have to take your shoes off right when you walk in.
That's smart.
They don't want you to walk in with any street shoes on just because it's basically the bowling alley's right there.
That's smart.
And so I started walking in, and I was gonna go sit in one of the tables, you know, like you do if you don't bowl, you don't have to get shoes, I thought, and then I got yelled at. Hey, you need bowling shoes? And I was like, just here to get my little brother. I'm not bowling, you know. And he
Yeah.
goes, well, can you take your shoes off? I said, well,
I'm gonna be in and
Do
out.
I really have to? Like, I'm just grabbing my brother and going, and he goes, I would like you to take your shoes off. I said, nope, that's fine. I'll go wait to pick up. Because I was just kind of in a hurry
Yeah.
to get home, but
So the bowling alley here, like a couple years ago, like I wasn't here, but was it called OK Lane?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's still, the sign is still up there.
Is it
It's
okay
okay.
lanes, or what is the
No,
new?
it's
I always
ABC
took- yeah,
lanes. It's
ABC
ABC lanes.
Have you? Have any of you guys been there since it reopened?
No.
Yes,
I haven't. You
last
know?
week. That's
Besides-
what I was talking
besides
about.
Wyatt.
Oh,
No, because I think the last like memory I have from the bowling alley
It's rock and bowl.
was rock and bowl.
Same me.
Yeah.
7th grade year. For
7th grade, yeah. Why did they shut down? I think they just
health codes.
health codes. That's right.
was it
Yeah.
health codes? Is
Yeah.
that it? I thought someone told me
What
they went
kind of
bankrupt.
health code?
There was like mold and stuff under
Oh.
the floor. And
Yeah.
It just stunk. It smelled really dingy and gross whenever you went in there.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom, as soon as I'd come home, she'd be like,
Go change. You smell bad. Go take a shower. You stink. Ick. Smell like smoke.
They used to have a casino there, right?
They still do. The casino is still upstairs.
"Can you?
Uh,
Can we go upstairs?"
Yeah,
now?"
if you're 18, yeah, I think you can go up
18?
there.
Okay.
I've always wanted to go up there, but I'm excited
That's
to.
a rite of passage. Bowling alley.
Right?
Bar.
How many hours do they have?
Just the same amount as they had last had. I can't remember. I didn't count when I was there. I should have, but
Is it like more than 16 or 16?
I'd say it's
8.
I mean, as fast as
Hey.
Wyatt was pushed
Oh,
out of there, he
okay.
probably didn't pay attention.
I was like, I locked eyes with my brother, and I went like this, and I got out because I got yelled at because I just started walking in, and I was gonna go sit at the table with my shoes on and watch Morgan finish his round, and no, we can't have that. You need to take them dang shoes off right now. I was like, I am so sorry, sir. So I just went back outside.
He probably wasn't that polite. He was probably like, "Why?"
No, I asked him. I was like trying not to be rude. I said, well, do I really have to? Like, I'm just here to get my little brother. I'm not bowling.
What's
he goes,
the
You're
need?
gonna be in and out. That's it.
exactly. He goes, well, wipe off your shoes on the carpet. And I was like, I'll just go sit in my pickup. But
Do you know if they have are they still serving food up in the bar?
I think so.
So they are.
I think so.
Because I don't remember going there and being like, "Mom, I need $10 because I want pizza."
Right?
Oh, pizza. It's like the greasy pizza too.
No, it's the best. Though, 'cause it's
It
so
is.
good.
Were you guys pretty good at bowling?
No, terrible at it.
I sucked. I always gutter balled it. There was one point I guttered so many games that the owner, one of the workers came up and put up the gutter
Oh my.
cages for me, and I felt bad.
The
I was like
bars?
7. The bars, yeah.
Are you any good, David?
Well, after hearing you guys, I feel a bit better about it. Skill added.
Okay,
I
I will
used to-
say I
Hold
can
on.
kick
Wasn't
some.
done.
Sorry,
I used to be in a little league actually.
Really?
for
really?
bowling.
That's sick.
I was only there for like a short amount of time.
They had literally.
I will say
Yeah.
I'm not good at
Yeah.
actual bowling, but when it comes to Wii Sports bowling,
Ah,
Oh
I
my
got
gosh.
you there. I got you there.
I'm a decent bowler. I mean, like, I got a couple strikes, but like,
My
You're in a little league though, huh?
my
That's
grandpa.
That's really cool.
I think my sister had a birthday party there when we were growing up, and my grandpa showed up from like back in his day with his bowling bag with the ball, and he had a special brace.
You
And
know-
I'm like, this stuff is serious
Have you ever
to
seen?
my grandpa.
You ever seen the movie Uncle Buck?
Yes,
Whenever I think of bowling, I always think of Uncle Buck bowling.
those are like the big pancakes from Uncle Buck when he uses the shovel.
Yes.
so one of my friends did tell me that they're open Wednesday to Saturday, 3 p.m. to 11 p.m.
That's so smart.
So
Open till 11. Yeah, I remember last they closed at like 10.
10.
OK Lanes did.
I loved bowling. Rock and roll was fun.
It was a blast.
Not being able to see though when you would step down and you're like, oh, was even scarier. So now feeling better that I know it's all flat.
It is.
I might just
was,
like shuffle across the floor and fall on my face, but
I
like
was
that's
like-
better than falling off my face off a step.
I saw it was all flat, and I was like, "What is going on here? Like, it just looks so different."
You mean it's all flat? You mean it's just God's that voice crack? What do you mean it's all flat? Is it just like this classroom? It's
Like
just-
the desk.
There's no.
Basically, yeah.
There's no like.
So no, there's a little bit of a slope down, to the bowling alley, but you remember how there was a guardrails and you could step down.
There's no stairs.
There's no stairs to get down onto the bowling alley. It's all flat now, which I thought was just weird.
That's actually kind of smart.
And it's all open too, which was
Anyone
cool.
with like
That's even
disabilities
nicer.
can go now.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean like, do the walls still like the paint when it's dark? Do you think they'll still glow if they have rock and roll?
I don't know.
'Cause I remember the walls
They
glowing.
repainted in there for sure.
Good. I remember the walls like glowing when you'd go in there for rock and roll.
Yeah, it was cool.
And they'd turn off the lights and like it looked like the bowling ball and like the pins were glowing in
pins
the dark,
glowed,
or
yeah.
they were like
Really?
3D. It was
It was cool.
so fun. I loved rock and roll.
Is there anything else you guys want to add to this,
No.
Mark? No?
No.
Okay. So with that, this will be our last topic for this podcast, and which we chose the topic of goodbyes and postmortem. So,
Word.
Amelia,
Oh, don't start with me. I'll get emotional. You don't want that.
How about we start with you, Wyatt?
Let's start
All
with
right.
somebody.
so I want to personally thank you guys so much for taking time out of your busy lives, just taking the 20-30 minutes a day to watch us do this. I want to thank our teacher, Mr. Gorman, for allowing us to put on this podcast. I thought it was a great idea. And then again, I do want to thank Frontier Heating especially for donating the money, because they did donate quite a bit to us to help with this, which was awesome. When we first came into class, Mr. Gorman had given us a few different things to choose on how we could speak publicly. And one of them was the idea of a podcast. And the idea of it was really cool. I personally never thought it would become a reality until we did our cold calling and did this stuff for the sophomore class so they could put their ads in the newspaper, which is really cool. And after that, we ended up thinking about it, and it just became a great idea. And I thought it was awesome. Once again, I do hope the podcast continues. I think it's been a lot of fun for us to develop topics, do slides, and get information written down. And with that, for anyone who doesn't know, I will be attending the University of Jamestown in the fall of next year for 4 years to get my master's in communications and theater. And that's where I'm headed, so thank you.
It's been awesome doing this podcast. It really has. Like, it's fun to hang out and talk about all these different topics with other people. We've had some tough spots, but we've got through it every time. And in the end, I got what I wanted out of this class, and that's an improvement to my confidence.
Awesome.
That's great. I'll go last.
Okay. Same as Wyatt said, we want to say thank you for taking your time out of your day to come watch us. I mean, it means a lot to us since we're kind of small. So yeah, we all had our disagreements at first, but like as we progressed through each podcast, we all started to get closer, and we all started to, become, what's the word? Agreeable.
More together.
Yeah. We became a team, This class is a great class, man. It taught me a lot. Like, I need to articulate my words. I'm speaking up. I'm doing better reading out loud to a lot of people. Improved my confidence, like my friend David here said, with speaking publicly in front of people. So, podcast taught us a lot, and I appreciate it.
Let me finish my yawn. Okay. Well,
Don't cry.
I'm not. I hope.
Right after.
Yeah, fully. Well, I'd like to say a huge thank you to Frontier for providing us with the camera and just the money as a whole for us being able to do this podcast, because I think it brings a lot of joy to our day, as long as maybe all of the other people who have taken part of watching or have had opinions on it, and hearing us get, or like having them give us feedback, I think was great, so we could know what we think should be spoken about. And I'm glad that this has brought us together, and it's given us a huge opportunity to open big doors for all the rest of us, because I know as a fact for me, this class was just, I was so unsure about it at first, but now I'm so much better at speaking publicly. I'm not nervous, I'm not as shy. I can pretty much just read the room and know this is how it's going to be, and if you don't like what I have to say, I don't really care. And I'm not going to say this podcast didn't have its problems or anything, because God knows we are not perfect people. We all have our issues, we all have our problems, we have caused issues with this. But as a whole, I think it's been great for everybody, and it's been great for me. I don't know what else to say.
You said it all. I think we have a word for Mr. Gorman.
Mark Halen, Amelia, Wyatt, David, Stephen. It was a learning experience, and that's the purpose of education. For the first time for this school to do this, there was no script. There was no lesson plans. It was just, let's do a podcast, let's get a camera. You guys did that. You participated each week. I think hopefully you learned about public speaking and performing on a weekly basis. Again, the topics weren't always easy. Discussions weren't always easy, but it's a learning experience. That's why you come to school. That's why you're here every day. You're graduating. Hopefully you'll continue what you learned here in your futures, and learn that, things may start out rough and without certainty, but you keep plodding and you keep trying and you keep doing. You learn from it and you end up here where you are. And I'd say congratulations to all of you on a semester well done and a podcast well done. And I thank everybody who has watched this, and hopefully the school will figure out a way that we can continue this and keep the Sydney High School Eagle Squawk podcast going. Thanks.
And before we cut off, Stephen, you want to come say a few words?
Yeah, Stephen, come say goodbye.
Yep, Stephen, get over there.
Cameraman down! You gotta clap like this.
Amen. Hallelujah. I mean, it's definitely been one experience. I mean, I enjoy editing and producing the podcast too. We definitely, again, have our issues with it, but I think overall, I think most of us enjoyed it. Discussing, actually participating was actually not bad at all. So,
Can I add one thing? I think I really enjoyed Wyatt's commentary, sounding like a dummy sometimes. It def gives me joy.
let's just point out the fact that
Wyatt
That
does
some
know
states
South
have bag
Korea is a
limits on
country.
squirrels.
some states have bag limits on squirrels, and
And
it's
South
okay to
Korea is
eat
a
them.
country.
And South Korea
And-
exists.
yes, South Korea does exist.
See you later, guys.
Bye.